Kiara, good evening. This is Mary Joseph. I'm a licensed immigration advisor with AJV Global, coming live from Hamilton. We are at the Hamilton AJV Global office, the only one at the moment in New Zealand. So I'm coming live after a very, very long time. Actually, I think probably it's been about a month or so that I've been doing these live sessions. It's been really, really crazy. Even though a lot of people do call and say, hey, you know what, the borders are closed. What are you guys doing over the week over COVID? I'm sure you'll have pretty relaxed and chilling. Well, no, we've been even more busy. We've been busy probably twice the time we would have been normally otherwise. So because COVID has posed a lot of challenges for a lot of people, both within New Zealand and offshore. In fact, we have a lot of people with visas in New Zealand who are stranded overseas. So they are facing various challenges. Plus, we've got people in New Zealand with different challenges of, surprisingly enough, our own AJV clients, our own students, are not struggling so much so with jobs as such. A lot of them have moved on to getting promotions. A lot of them have moved on to getting better jobs. So we have our onshore support person here, Anjana, who's been talking to our students who have come to New Zealand since like 2016, and she's been tracking their progress to see. And many of them have moved on to either becoming residents or have applied already, have gotten into good jobs. A few of them are looking at getting back in and upskilling themselves. So we have seen probably the best case scenario with all our clients. And that goes to show that we work with really good bunch of people. That's number one. So all credit goes to our AJV clients who are extremely good, and they're doing the right things. And of course, we are always there to support them. So we'll take a small, teeny bit of credit in that they have come into good programs, and we've helped them realize what are the best things for them to do while they're here, trying to make the most of the opportunity towards getting a residence in New Zealand. So we take pride in guiding our clients, our students into the right programs, supporting them through their course and trying to understand how to get into jobs and things like that. So that comes to today's topic. So today's topic is how to get into the 20 most needed jobs in New Zealand at the moment. So if you can see, I'm doing this session both on Facebook and YouTube, and I'm doing this in the morning, in the day hours of New Zealand, is because we would like for the people here in New Zealand to see this video. And this is mainly for people here in New Zealand. I'm talking about those looking for jobs, those looking at upgrading, those looking at finding a job that will lead you to residence. So this is an article that was recently posted on seek.co.nz. At the end of this video, we will also post that link to that to that article. So the Seek article talked about New Zealand's 20 most needed jobs. So this is about the current situation. What are the jobs available right now here in New Zealand, and I am here to talk to you about how you can get into these jobs. So I'm not going to cover all 20 of them. Okay, I'm just going to touch upon the main ones, which will possibly also lead you to residence or a kind of a work visa that we could possibly look at. So before I get into talking about the jobs and talking about the immigration aspects, I'll just share my license card, which is the requirement before providing immigration advice. I'm supposed to prove that I'm a licensed advisor. So my license number is 2018-01050, which you can go up on the Immigration Advisors Authority website and check on that. So that's good. So that's one thing done. So let's get into the topic. So what are the top 20 most needed jobs right now? So this is what the employers in these industries are looking for at the moment. So you must focus. If suppose you're struggling to find a job and you want to get into a new role, probably this is where you need to look at. This is what you need to look at. So the top most one, and which will be, is nursing roles. All kind of nursing roles. So nursing roles that will be working as a nurse, registered nurse in New Zealand. So if you're already a nurse in your home country and you're here in New Zealand, you should consider a nursing, upgrade into a nursing registered nurse. How you do that? Obviously there are certain ways. You most important thing will be your English language requirement. You will need to get that IELTS of 7 in each band. If you don't have that, or you are not from the nursing background, you are, say, some other health related program, or you're not from health but you still want to become a nurse, because the beauty about nursing jobs is that there is a pay equity. So every nurse who finishes the course and gets registered as a nurse, you get a minimum assured salary for it. So the assured salary right now is 25.50, and the government decides, because you're also hired by the government of New Zealand, which is the Ministry of Health. So because of which there's a clear pay equity, right? So nobody can pay you lesser than that. So nursing roles is a big thumbs up because it's a number one on the list. And yes, if you're not from this background, it will take you 3 years to get there, but it is something that will never go away. COVID or say a big change in economy or anything, nothing can impact the requirement for a health professional. Okay, so yes, nursing roles is one thing that we would like for a lot of people who's got the English language ability to consider seriously. The other thing about nursing roles is that it's a straight away pathway to residence. If you get registered as a nurse and you have 160 points to claim, and you're of good character and health, you'll get your residence probably in about 6 months, because nursing is an area where you need registration, and it comes onto the high priority list of people who will be able to get their residence on a fast track process. So that's the reason we are definitely supporting people who are considering to nursing here in New Zealand. And again, please remember, I'm talking about people here within New Zealand. However, a lot of these roles will also be a good area that people offshore can consider. You may be sitting in your home country right now and planning to come into New Zealand next year. If you are, then please consider these as well, because there I will highlight these few jobs in this top 20 right now, which will continue to stay. It will not change over the course of time. So nursing is one such a role. Moving on to the next one. The next one is administrative assistants. So administrative assistants are one of the most needed roles. It's on the rank 2 right now. So administrative assistants can be people who support professionals. So they are people who support professionals to conduct their everyday activities. It could be doctors, it could be engineers, it could be in the education sector. So it could be any of those. So administrative assistance is a good role that you could possibly look at. However, the only problem with administrative assistance is they'll pay you well. However, the residence may be a bit tricky because it will be a lower skilled level. So if, however, but even within administrative assistants, there are certain administrative assistants that are on a higher skill level and may qualify for residence because it is a skill level 2. So it will come under, suppose if you're a project administrator, okay, that's an administrative assistant, so it's a project administrator, then you will be a project coordinator, project administrator will be a skill level 2. So that's a very important role that you could possibly look at, and there are jobs open right now, 20. This is the second in the rank that you could consider. Third one is warehousing, storage and distribution. So practically you need no experience for this role. Warehousing, storage and distribution is one role, is most of the people are able to pick up as casual roles. Okay, however, this is at a low skill level. Okay, so salaries are usually at a starting rate between 18 the minimum wage and about 1950. So that's the average salaries in this area. But remember, it acts as a good foot through the door if you're you're looking at getting into a company and then looking at internal roles. Okay, so yes, this is the third ranked job needed right now in New Zealand. The fourth one is developers, programmers. What is to say? It's in the area of IT, it's on the long term skill shortage list. So, developers and programmers are in the top four. So, you need obviously strong programming and development skills. All the software, C, Java, and all the other areas that they're looking at in programming. Mobile app development is next big thing within development happening right now here in New Zealand, because everybody, all the employers, employees, and the retail industry is trying to move towards being mobile. So that's one area you could possibly upgrade yourself if you're already, recently we did have a strange situation where people came up to us and say, hey, you know what, I'm applying for jobs and I'm not getting a job in IT, whereas the majority of our IT students are having jobs. They all are in good position. So when we compare to see what is the difference between the ones who are not finding a job and the ones who are finding a job, the stark difference is, number one is we see communication. So we see that it's not just verbal communication. Sometimes it is as simple as being able to connect with people, network with people. That is a big skill gap that we notice with people. So that's one area. Second is having certifications. So in the area of IT, please understand certifications is highly required. Just having a graduate diploma or a postgraduate diploma or even a master's will not help you. You need to have certifications, that is required, because certifications do not come as part of your course. You only learn the framework, but any certifications have to be done by yourself in your own interest. It will not come with your programs. So please pay attention on that. Okay, so developers, programmers is on four on the list of ranking of jobs right now that are in demand. Next we've got retail assistants, very similar to warehousing and distribution roles. It is This is ranked at a level 5. You don't need a lot of experience to get in. However, it can act as a great foot through the door. It pays basic under $20 per hour. However, it'll be a great foot through the door. I have seen people getting in at retail assistants and gone to becoming retail managers in about a year or so. Yes, you can climb the ladder within that area. And if you are a retail manager, then we can definitely look at residence, as long as you're paid 50 per hour and get 160 points, right? Next is automotive trades. And this is a very tricky one, because automotive trades, mostly the programs are all at skill are at NZQA level 3 and 4. Okay, so these are not very high level courses. So unless you're a 12th standard pass or a high school pass out, you may not be able to do these automotive trade programs. You could be a bachelor's degree, you could have completed a bachelor's in mechanical engineering or any other area, and you want to consider automotive trades. You can study. Absolutely, you can study those programs. However, you may not get a post study work visa. So it gets a little tricky, but understand it's 6 on the list. So automotive trades, that is your mechanic, your the all the automotive. If you go on to the automotive trades on careers, you will see what are the different list, fitters and things like that. So that's another area that you could possibly look at. It's 6 on the top needed list. Then you've got sales representative and consultants. It's a set, basically it will be similar to retail and warehousing roles. Starting casual jobs, won't be very high paying. However, they will work as a foot through the door for you guys. It's at a ranking level 7 at the moment. And next one is chefs and cooks. Chefs are in the long term skill shortage list for New Zealand. What you need is, you need only a skill level, a level 5 course that you should have completed to become a chef here in New Zealand, right? So chefs are in demand. Even though, strangely enough, even though the hospitality industry and the tourism industry is hit quite a bit, the demand for chefs and cooks remain, purely because, see, people got to eat, right? Because New Zealanders now have no opportunity, because New Zealanders travel quite a bit abroad. Whenever they have holidays, they do spend a lot abroad. But now, because that is not there, they are indulgent here within the country. They're exploring the country. They're going out and eating, and there is the hospitality industry is still strong for that matter. I know for someone who was laid off recently, and who was a chef, one of our clients. He was laid off because he was working at an airport hotel, and obviously the airport hotel got shut. And then he got hired quickly in another city within about a month. So there is demand, guys. So it's only about where, demand has dropped in a few places, but then otherwise it is there. The hospitality jobs are still available, because I know someone, one of my students who only just started the culinary program. He was picked, hired as a commie chef without any experience at all or qualification at all. So I know that there is a demand. As long as you've got the skills, you'll be able to get into those roles. Laborers is one area that I will not really, talk about. It's on skill level, sorry, in the level 9, in the ranking here. But again, if you can pick up right now, if you are struggling without a job, you might want to consider, because laborers, handy, people, laborers will be working at construction sites and things like that. You could pick up a job as a casual. It's not necessary that it should be something long term for you. If you've lost your job, probably you might want to consider to be able to earn some money quickly. That's one thing. Number 10 on the list, business analyst, systems analyst, big demand. They're also in the long term skill shortage list. Very similar to developer programmers. You need to have an IT background and strong mathematics and analytics skills. Statistics is the main important area that you need to have strength in. They are in the long term skill shortage list, and very well paying jobs, guys. So please consider upgrading. Or if you have a background of business, you could possibly do a business analytics program, because even within business analysis, there are two things. You can either be a system analyst, where you are on the IT side of things, or you can be a business analyst, where you analyze the IT requirements of a business more on a business side of things. No, like how's the workflow, what happens when this stage happens. So this is what a business analyst does. They also sit and do a lot of data crunching. So that's what a business analyst does. So if you have any inclination towards that, please do consider. And there are some amazing programs available. And if you're on the post study work visa or about to complete your post study work visa, you should seriously consider to study and upgrade yourself in this area. Then we've got building trades, again, not very suitable for international students or migrants here, so we let that pass. Next is child welfare, youth and family services. Very important area. They're 12th on the list. Now, this includes people working in the area of mental health, people working as a community support worker, includes personal caregivers, includes nursing assistants. So this is one area that I would strongly emphasize on. After nurses, if anybody else is in demand, is personal carers, healthcare assistants. So these guys usually take care of the elderly, they take care of the disabled, they take care of the mentally disabled and challenged people. So, and community support workers who work with young people to basically overcome issues that they have. So this area is, there are programs available at level 7 here in New Zealand, which are 1 year, very cost effective, because the fees is also very less, only about $12,000. And there is 1 year programs which will help you become a healthcare assistant within about a year's time. Again, pay equity available within this role. You will get minimum 25-50 per hour, and has a clear pathway to residence. So if you are struggling, if you've been in New Zealand for over, say, any time over 3 or 4 years, and you're struggling without a job, you must consider this. I would strongly urge you to do that. Moving on, the 13th on the list is psychology, counseling, social work. They are one of the important roles, again, very similar to the child welfare, youth and family services. It's in demand right now, and you should consider a start. See, the only issue about this area is that you need to be registered a psychologist, or you need to be a registered counselor or a social worker. and it's not straightforward to get those licenses and registration. So we may have to have a one-on-one assessment and understanding of where you fit in and how you can get into these jobs. Okay, depending on what you've completed already, we can advise and tell you how you can get into these jobs. So when you do contact us, please do specify this, that you're interested in this area and we would like to discuss, so we can do that. Next, 14th on the list is civil structural engineering. Again, on the long term skill shortage list. If you are in the background of, if you've already completed anything to do with the engineering, you could consider studying civil, or within civil, there's something called highway engineering as well. So you could possibly even look at that. Now, if you're already in New Zealand and want to start off as a civil engineer, it may be a little challenging, because if you're, say, a commerce graduate and you want to do civil engineering, you'll have to study a 3 years bachelor's, which will become very challenging. But if you're a civil engineer and you're saying, you know what, I want to do something in structural, then we could possibly look at a program within that for you all. So we can definitely upgrade within that area. Okay. Next one is account and relationship management. So what does account managers and relationship managers do? So they basically manage clients, they manage customers. So it's usually with larger organizations where they have clients. So it could be an advertising agency, it could be a telecom company where they have these business clients. Like, every business will be an account for them, um, and they have to be managed, they have to be regularly kept on top of, in terms of services, ensure any issues with the service being provided, timely resolution of those issues, and regular billing and things like that. So an account manager handles all that. So every client will have one account person, so that is what an account manager does. So it can be across industries. So it could be within banking, within telecom, within healthcare, within insurance, within advertising, within marketing, within sales. So it can be across the board in terms of industries. So that's 15. So anybody with a business degree could become an account manager. You can start off from becoming an account executive. So when you're applying for jobs, do consider looking at this account executive roles, where you move up to becoming an account manager later. Yeah, so that's what it is. 16 on the list is customer service call center. Again, a good role which will pay you well. Initially, won't be paying very, very highly, between 20, say, anywhere between 19 to $22. However, the challenge over here is, again, this is a low skill level. It's a skill level 4 and does not have a clear direct pathway to residence unless you're a manager at a call center. So that's why I will not recommend that straight away, unless you are looking at a foot through the door or a casual role. Next is machine operators. Very, very good role, pays well also. Plus, also sometimes the salaries are around 25, 50, or 26 per hour if you have experience. So I have a lot of my clients who are doing this role, and this is 17 on the list. So you could be a diploma holder in mechanical engineering or some things like that. You could get into this job. If you would like to upgrade yourself, if you have no degree or you've done something else, you can still get into this machine operator role and be able to look at residents as well. Next will be store management store. So again, this is within retail, where you are a store manager, where you manage all operations of the store. This is 18 on the list. So this is another area that you could possibly look at with a management degree or a business degree. Okay, so if you are related in this area, you could possibly look at that. Having a bit of retail experience will always be better for you. Yeah. Next, 19th on the list is government and council roles. May be challenging for a migrant to apply for that, because a lot of these roles will expect you to be a resident. However, I do have clients within the area of engineering and also management who have got into government and council roles. Engineering's definitely within the area of civil and construction. Many of my clients have got jobs in the council, even being on a work visa. So you should approach for any apply and see if you have if you have a skill that is very unique, please do apply for these government and council roles. It's very, very beneficial. They are well paying, and also they are an established employer, so it'll be helpful. The last one is technicians, which is 20th on the list. Technicians can be across, again, different industries, laboratory technicians, all electronic technicians, mechanical technicians, or technical technicians can be across the board and not just in one specific area. So these are the lists of 20 top careers right now in New Zealand. This is immediately right now. And you should consider either upgrading yourself or trying to get a better understanding of how to get into these roles. So we do also can offer one-on-one consultation where we could look at your profile specifically and see how you as a person should either upgrade or move across industries. Okay, so if you would like to have that one-on-one consultation with us, you can go up on our website. Yeah, and if you can go up on our website, and then um, you can book in a consultation. You can book in a consultation with a New Zealand based advisor or advisors based across the globe. You can come and book in a consultation. We can sit down and have a chat and see how we can then ensure that you are able to get into those jobs. That's how it is. Okay, so yeah, so that's what it is. Today's topic, we have covered most of it. Any of you have questions, I'll be happy to answer that now. Just gonna quickly check to see if we have any comments or any responses that we need to make. Yeah, just give me a quick second, please. Thank you. Okay. Right. Sorry, guys, there seems to be some spam coming through. I'm just kind of trying to get that removed there. Just give me a quick second. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So just some questions coming through. Some ground rules, guys. If you're gonna ask me questions, I'd like for you to share your number, please, so that I can answer. And also, if there is further, connection, I mean, we need to connect further to discuss your profile one-on-one. We can do that. So please share your phone numbers. That's the only thing I'm asking you. And we are not, wicked salespeople who will come and, kind of disturb your peace. We are people who are, fair. We will not worry you. So if you are interested, we will talk to you. Otherwise, we will just not bother you. Okay, so do share your number. So there are a few of you who have already pasted your questions. Could you please share your number as well, so that'll be good. So I'm just gonna quickly look through Facebook first and see if there are any. We've got Shivang Shivastava who says hello. Hi, Shivang. Shivang is an AJV student. Thank you so much for working with us. Got Abhishek Kapri who says, will Delhi immigration Delhi open? Abhishek, thank you so much for your question, but Delhi immigration office is no longer operational. They shut it down last, I think, year before last. Now it's only Mumbai, and Mumbai is not yet open because of the COVID situation there, and we don't know when it will open. So sorry about that. Next, we've got Monica Chabra, who says submitted our application under SMC from offshore, got invited and submitted application. Do you think we will get visa approved by end of 2021? Monica, I really don't have an answer for that. Mainly because you're not our clients, so we don't know about your situation. Plus, at this stage, things have been a bit slow with offshore applications. So I really don't know what to answer you. Besides that, we don't know about your situation, so I won't be able to answer you on that. Thank you. Shovik Banerjee, one of our clients, he says, hello, Mary. Wishing the team at AJV very well and your new ventures and website. Do you see greater incentive or benefits for migrants to now settle in South Island? Well, Shavik, unless and until the government announces, I won't be able to confirm on that. But yes, it is always recommended also by the government that you go into, say, the southern region of New Zealand, also not the southern region, but spread across New Zealand. Because what happens is, it's the North Island, especially Auckland, is very very clustered right now. So they want to declutter, and they want to ensure that there are enough opportunities also spread across New Zealand. The housing prices are going up, and it's very very busy in Auckland. So the government is also encouraging people to move across the country. So yes, it'll be good for you to consider moving in the other parts of New Zealand. That will be our recommendation always. Yes, Auckland and Wellington are the business capital, but at the same time, if there are opportunities anywhere across New Zealand. Any town in New Zealand is livable. So I think that's why you should consider going to other cities. Yeah, that's how it is. Thank you. Okay, some more questions on YouTube, and I'm just going to quickly look at them. We have Amol Maurya, and Amol, can you please paste your number so that I can answer your question? Thank you. Vivek Patel, please paste your phone number so that I can answer that for you. Thank you. Sunando, he says, thank you for the session. Very detailed. You're welcome, Sunando. I hope you and your family are doing well. Sunando is one of our clients who's based in Auckland. So thank you so much. We've got Prateek, who's also given his number. So I'm just going to go and answer his question. He says, how much scope for civil engineering jobs after doing masters in construction management from New Zealand? My friends tell me there is no scope for Indian student as a civil engineer. Well, I have got a big sample size of students who have come in to do a master's in civil, and they've all got jobs. However, it's not an unexpected pathway how you get into those jobs, because you come in with an understanding that I'm a civil engineer, I'm a construction manager, and I need to get a job as a site manager or a site engineer. It doesn't happen that way. I have one or two of my students that started as, say, site laborers. Because what happens is, when employers don't know you, they will not consider your profile. So they have gotten they got their foot through the door by doing these labor roles. They get in first, do the labor roles, they start chatting with the site managers or, senior people there, and they realize, oh, that's great, there is this Indian who has all this information, or who this migrant, rather, I'd say, sorry to specify like that, but it is true, a lot of Indian students are very very strong in their engineering skills, because our engineering degree is very very good degree when compared with, also many of the degrees from India are Washington Accord. So because of which they are highly recommended here in New Zealand. So people see that you've got the skills and they hire you further, they move you up. So getting a foot through the door is very important. And sorry, I don't know who these friends you talk to, Prateek, but none of your friends are working with AJV for sure. Okay, because if they were an AJV client, I'm sure they would have made their way up by now. Okay, because none of my AJV students have struggled to get a job within the area of construction or civil. So they're all doing well. They've all got, how they got into those jobs is obviously not what you would expect normally, but they did. The bottom line is they did, and they also applied for their residence, and they're well-paying jobs. Okay, so yeah, talk to us, Prateek, and that itself will kind of put you on the right track, I would say. It really your outcome is impacted by who you work with, because I do have some students who have come into such terrible programs, who have come through other agencies. They've come into programs they shouldn't have. I have a dentist who I spoke to recently, and she came into a program which is not meant for her at all, and her only aim is to become a dentist. and obviously she needs to get registration and all that, but there could have been alternate pathways. I have someone I spoke to today who wants to be a psychologist but came into a sports program because they had a totally a different idea about things. So who you work with will determine how long it will take and how easy or difficult your pathway will be. I will not say it will be a cakewalk, but at least you will have someone who can untie the knots as and when they become complex for you. Immigration matters is a very, very difficult thing, because you're dealing with two things when you come to New Zealand as a migrant. You're not just dealing with understanding how the market works, you're also dealing with the immigration aspects of it, right? Because you're like, okay, I will eventually get a job, but whether this job will be good enough for me to reside and become a resident is the big question. So we will be able to give you a solution for both, because we don't have a placement agency, we don't have a recruitment team, but we are working on that. We are working on a placement team where we can help you connect with employers. We're not assuring jobs here, people. We are not, but we're working on a plan where we can connect you with employers. The employer connect program. So whether you get hired, whether it'll be an internship and all that, we don't know. But we are creating that channel for you to interact with employers. Yeah, that's how it is. So work with us. You'll be in a better space, I'd say. Yeah. Amol, thank you so much for pasting your phone number. Amol says, I'm working as a business analyst. Can I get a job to apply for a visa from India? I'd say the answer is a yes and a no, Amol. Right now, obviously, with the borders being closed, it's going to be challenging. But when you apply from overseas, it's going to be challenging because employers would like you to be here in the country with a valid visa, even though it's in an area of skill shortage. However, I have seen a lot of people with high IT skills who have been able to get a job directly as well. So, and then applied for a work visa. So the chances are probably 1 in 100, but I won't say it's not possible. It is. If you've got this unique IT skill which nobody else, it's very hard to find. I have known people who get scouted via LinkedIn and everything directly and being offered a job because their skill is so unique, and the skills that they have, it's not easily found. In those areas, yes, it's possible. Yeah, or the kind of experience or your exposure with certain industries. So it totally depends on you, your skills, and what you have to bring to the table. Apply and see. Now that the borders are shut, you could apply, but employers may not be very happy also offering you a job right now when the borders are closed and you cannot travel into the country. So yeah, so if 2 or 3 months you don't get an opportunity, then I think you should certainly consider the alternate pathways available. If you have experience, you could probably look at a skilled migrant category job search visa pathway. Or if you are married, your wife could possibly come to study and you can come on a work visa. So there are lots of things that you could possibly do. So why don't you have a chat with us one on one, have a chat with one of our advisors, and we can then give you some personalized plan that will work for you and your family. Okay, thank you so much, Amol. Okay, so we've got another question. We've got someone called Jagat who has pasted a question. Jagat, please share your number so that I can answer that for you. Thank you. Damodar Puda, Pudasaini says, hello, what about completed masters in Nepal construction project management and work experience for more than 3 years? Good. That also is a good area. See, construction project management comes within the area of construction management. Yes, there is a lot of demand for project engineers like that. So you should consider, probably taking the student pathway because you've got less experience. You may not qualify for a direct pathway. However, you are employable. So if you're able to either come and study and then get a job search visa for 3 years, you will be open to getting jobs. Or if you're married, your wife can come to study and you can come on a work visa. So there are a couple of pathways that you could possibly explore, Damodar. And when my team does reach out to you, they will be able to assist you a bit more on that to try and explain to you. Don't shut yourself away directly from, say, considering student pathway. Yes, I know that a lot of people kind of shy away saying, oh, I don't want to spend money and things like that. But you should think it through once, because what's important to understand is what are you getting in return. What is the return on investment? Please remember, you're spending, say, on an average $30,000, and even if you're getting a job with a minimal pay, you will earn that back in the year. Yeah. uh, to be able to break even, to be able to send back money and repay your loan, you must probably start off at about $60,000, which can happen about in a year. Yeah. So I have seen a lot of my clients being able to do that, guys, within the first year and a half, doing casual jobs with basic pay. A lot of them have been able to pay back their loans as well, the education loans, if that's what you're looking at. You're taking an education loan and coming here. So that's how it is. So what I would suggest is, please consider this pathway. It's very, very important. It's very important to understand that study plus settle is a very stable pathway. Majority of the people take it who get become residency, a majority of the people take that pathway only. So it is important to understand that who you work with and the pathway you take, is very, very important, and the kind of course you're taking is very, very important. Okay, so that's how it is. Right, so I'm just going to quickly check if there are any more questions coming in. Not really. It's surprising that we don't have anybody from New Zealand contacting and asking us questions. Okay. Okay. Right, I don't really have any questions coming through. Anybody else who would like to ask questions, please do now, because yeah, if I don't get too many questions in, I might, kind of wrap up. So just a quick second. Mm, okay. Jagat, if you'd like me to answer a question, please put down your number there. Thank you. Right. So looks like it's a bit quiet. So I'll wrap up this session now. Okay. We do have my colleagues who will also be doing some sessions, especially for those based overseas. I can't. I know a lot of you must be wondering about the border closures, the border reopening. Right now, we have no clue about it. We won't be able to answer when that will open unless the government makes an announcement, a formal announcement. Okay. The other thing is about partner visas and families stuck abroad as well. We have no clue about what's happening with that. Unless and until the government makes a formal announcement, we don't know. People who are stuck overseas who are on a post study work visa are still stranded because you won't be able to travel unless and until the government again makes exception on post-study work visas. However, people on work to residence and essential skills visas are able to come back to New Zealand provided they still have their jobs. So there is a bit of a process on that. So if you would like us to assist you with that process, please do talk to us and we can help you assist with that. So yes, you can contact us here in New Zealand if you're based out of New Zealand on 0800 696977. That is our toll-free number. You can also write to us at immigrationadvisor@havglobal.com. If you're based overseas, anywhere apart from the Pacific region, if you're in Australia, Fiji, Samoa, Papua New Guinea, and New Zealand, please do contact us here in New Zealand. If you are anywhere apart from these countries, please do write to us at info@ajvglobal.com, and then you will have one of our team members based on your region contacting you. Right. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you guys for coming in and, was asking your questions. I hope this session was useful, and also those who are watching this video later, please do consider taking a one-on-one consultation with us, because it's important that we understand your situation individually, and then give you tailor-made solution. There cannot be a blanket approach on this. Yeah, it's immigration advice, so please ensure you spend that, you value that time, and you take proper professional advice. Thank you so much, Kaki Teano. See you next time.